Not too far.
Onze eerstvolgende stop is de luchthaven Schiphol Airport.
Alright, how's it going? My name's Phil, FIL, and today I'm going to be exploring the city of Amsterdam, and obviously I'm really excited about that. I don't seem it because I've been ill. I've already been here for about a day, and the only thing I've filmed is basically me having severe diarrhea all the way here. I've been pretty ill, mainly because my diet on the few days leading up to this, I was kind of like, oh, I'm on holiday already, so I'll just eat what I want, and it's absolutely ruined my insides. Mrs. Phil is Mrs. Ill as well. She's got some sort of chesty, throaty thing, which we're probably both going to end up with, especially after this morning's activities. Yeah, but we're going to make the most of it. We're not going to let it ruin our trip. We've wanted to do this for ages, been planning it before I decided to give up alcohol, so I'm certainly going to be having a few beers on this trip to Amsterdam, and then when I go back to England I'll be teetotal-ish again for a bit until I work out what I want to do. But I'm going to have a few beers and a few parsnips whilst I'm on holiday. We'll take a look at this for a skate park. It sort of reminds me of my local back in England. The size of them. Unfortunately, I've only bought my cruiser skateboard today, so can't exactly be smashing out a 900 or anything like that. But I'm going to try and have a bit of a carve around, I think. After that radical skateboarding session, it was time to cool off I ordered orange juice, which apparently translates to Oompa Loompa shit in German or whatever. Well, that is certainly one of the best skate parks I've ever been to in my life. A lot of it was too big for me to skate, but I enjoyed what I did, and luckily I got to skate it twice as well because Mrs. Phil doesn't know how to work a camera. So I went there, skated, got like a few things that I wanted to do, and then went and had a coffee and a juice, and I had a look back at the footage and she hadn't done any of it, so I went back there and then she filmed it properly after that. Anyway, let's see what this tastes like. Can of Grolsch. Open the lips and sniff. Smells like a non-alcoholic beer, but like a really, really nice one. Phil. I feel like I'm about to start crying. Whoa. Oh yeah. So that species there is actually what's known as a African crow, and I know you're probably wondering what those white markings are on his head, and I was too, and I've just googled it, and actually what it is there's a yogurt distillery just up there, and they pump the yogurt into the water, and that's where they have breakfast, so it's just yogurt on his forehead. So apparently the best way to see the city is on bike, so as you can see we've rented a couple of buses, and we got a pretty good deal off the guy at the rental place. We've give him some coins, and we've got these for a couple of days. It was time to make a couple of sandwiches. It wouldn't be a trip to Amsterdam without making a couple of the same sandwiches I could make back in England. It's pretty good, to be fair. Hummus, salami, thin chicken, and some crisps. It's just missing, I think, a few chocolate raisins, and it could have been perfect. I was planning on doing quite a lot of cycling over the next few days, so it was time to rub some grease on my face. There we go. We took the train into the city centre. The Dutch bike is such a perfect design. It's just an absolute cruiser. One gear, and if there's no brakes on the handlebars, if you want to brake, you just pedal backwards a little bit and it slows you right down. As I cycled down Flugenheimen Street with a smile on my face and a boner pushing against my zip, it had become apparent that I had quite bad dry mouth. My mouth was as dry as a hot cat and I needed something wet to dry it off with, so I sat down at the local bistro and ordered myself a nice cold pint of Heineken! Wow. As I minced through the streets of Amsterdam, I still had a bad case of hot cat mouth, so I went into this pub called Grandad Snapped His Banjo and had a nice wet pint, but I think what I really wanted was more dry mouth, so I had a quick Spleefenforfen down by the canal. Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be FIL. FIL. I tried on some massive green clogs and then sat down on a bench and just went on the whitey for a bit. All day long I'd been seeing sightings of people dressed up as like leprechauns and that, and it took me till now to realise it was actually St Paddy's Day today, so I rushed into the nearest pub called Mr Tompkins is a fucking sex predator and ordered myself a pint of Irish gravy to wash away my bad case of sand lips, and then it was time for some sightseeing. Well, that certainly is a fantastic cock. That was certainly enough sightseeing for one day. Also, I'd contracted the munchies, so it was time to open the chips and sniff. I'm on a bit of a health kick at the moment, so we went for the sweet potato fries, garnished with a nice big dollop of shit. Fucking hell, that's probably the nicest thing I've ever eaten in my life, I reckon. As this fantastic day had drawn to an end, we cycled back to the campsite and I prepared us a hot sausage dinner. I inserted the 5-inch steaming banger into my gob, and it was so hot I ended up with blisters all over the roof of my mouth, which I had to pop with a cocktail stick and then disinfect using sausage juice. That's the end of Fart 1.